Welcome to a whole new adventure for us to experience together in a game called Baba Zoo with a new Baba Make level update. I'm Dear Darling and gamers play, fun as have, you and me. So yes, Baba Zoo, about half a month ago or something, had a new update, I suppose, where you can do the level update editor and things like that. But Baba Zoo is one of the games is my favorite game of all, puzzle game of all time. But I've only played before I started recording all these YouTube videos. But now the updates come out, I feel like it'd be a good time to revisit it. So the last time I played this game was back in 2 years ago, about September, apparently. So I haven't played like any of the new updates since. It's been ages since I played, but I thought I'd like to share my experience, I suppose, going through the new pack together. So apparently there's also a museum and there's also the new pack. They both seem to just be levels. I can't really tell the difference between them, so we're just going to do both. So sorry, let me explain what Baba Zoo is if you don't know what Baba Zoo. Basically, you play as, well, any sort of character, and Baba Zoo is essentially a block pushing game where you try and change the rules of the level to ultimately make something win, and that's how you basically beat the level. That's basically it in a nutshell. It gets very difficult, but you'll see it yourself, I think. So welcome to the museum. This is a showcase of old or unused content. Signs like these will tell you interesting details about the levels and game design. Please enjoy your stay. There may be spoilers if you haven't been beating the original game. So if you haven't beaten the original game, I recommend you go play it right now. There's not a Let's Play on my channel because I, of course, played it about 2 years ago before I even started doing any of my YouTube recording. I don't know when this museum was updated, but we're going to do the museum, and we're going to sort of try and oh my word, there's so many levels in the museum. We're basically just going to try and make our way through all these Baba Zoo levels. Changes A. It's of course been so long since I played Baba Zoo, I might not remember how to do things. So of course you can see the weirdness in this Baba Zoo game immediately to begin with. You want to be like, hey, I want to try and win. And you see, wall is win. Okay, so I try and walk into wall. Hold on a minute. We can see outside of the bottom, wall is wall and wall is stop. So that means wall is stop means we cannot walk into it, and wall is wall basically means it is unchanging, and those rules are rules which are going to be rather difficult for us to change for now. But you also look around and try and look at the other rules and see what you got working with. You also Baba Zoo, that always just shows you that Baba, of course, this white rabbit sheep creature, that's who you'll be controlling this entire time. And rock is push, meaning of course if we walk into it, it will move. Water is sink out the top left there, means anything that goes into it will immediately become eradicated. So yeah, the question sort of becomes, what do we want to happen? Obviously, we could get rid of wall and is, and we can make rock is win, and that will certainly let us win. But we wouldn't get to the sign, obviously, because, you know, that's like the fun part, right? Trying to figure out how to get to the sign to do things. So I suppose what we could do to get to the sign and be able to read that nice little signpost is we can make instead wall is you. I tried to add a bit of extra to this tutorial for X is X mechanic. In the end, I decided to go with a much more straightforward design since X is X turned out to be tougher to grasp. So there you go. We can make wall is you, and we you know there's multiple ways we could do this. How about for almost a flashy way? Why don't we make wall is you and wall is win? Probably let's do it in this sort of thing. So if anytime you and win are either like overlapping or you're the same thing, you win. So that's basically the premise of what we're aiming for. So change this B. I don't really know what this museum. So this museum is sort of just like built on the levels that we have in the base game, but of course things feel a little bit different because, you know, everything is a little bit different. So I guess this is exactly the same thing. We make wall is wall and wall is you. Wall is win again. It's a rather similar sort of concept, but, you know, Baba Zoo, don't get deceived by these early levels. Baba Zoo gets really, really hard very, very quickly. So it always keeps you on your toes. I'm going to do my best to continuously try and like talk while doing these sort of things, but it's not going to be particularly easy. Puzzle games are not easy to talk and do at the same time. So here we're introduced to, well, not introduced, but we're reintroduced to the move mechanic. One of the very first levels, I think I ultimately felt that it was too chaotic. So these are just like unused levels, which is interesting to see. Perhaps a bit strange to see without seeing a base game, and I apologise. I'm not going to be, well, I probably won't be doing a Baba Zoo like the main story playthrough because I've already played it. I mean, it could be interesting. If people are really interested in seeing that happen, then I will make it happen, of course. So lovers win. So the ultimate idea here is probably to make love is move. I can't remember if win and defeat cancel each other out, but they don't, so it's fine. Defeat just means that if it's you and you walk into it, then you will lose. You'll die. So the best thing to do is not to do that and to avoid that entirely. covered by ice, level 3, but it's always nice to go back to these Babbo's U things because I love Babbo's U. Babbo's U is my favourite puzzle game. This is a one take on the design that eventually became Icy Waters. This level was interestingly open-ended, and I ultimately wanted a more compact tutorial for and. Lava is hot and Babba is you. If I remember, if it's hot, it melts hot things. So ice is defeat, which means that we can't walk onto it like we did there. But it's also melts, and hot things we also evaporate on. Because Babba's melt. Anytime hot touches melt, the melt item melts. So the obvious answer is to make lava not hot anymore. Now we can walk freely across this. And now we got to be like, what can we make? What do we want to be win? Well, flag is win. So we want to make something flag. So why don't we make we obviously want to get out the flag thing. So perhaps we make lava and Babba as you? Is that useful? Yes, probably, because that will give us no, that won't be useful. I mean, we'll do it anyway, just because, in my opinion, these puzzle games, it's always good to sort of like experiment and see what happens. But obviously it's not as useful because the lava just immediately melts. What we probably want to do is we probably want to make something, something around the side is useful. Flag, and the problem is with Babbo's U, we can't really move it unless we turn us into lava as well. Which I'm not super sure if that's what we want to do yet. What we probably want to do, now I'm looking at it, is sometimes, you know, often they put rules in the corners like this, which signifies to you, you can't really, there's a difficult to change without some other rules. But you can add things to them, like this, making ice is melt and hot. And thus, we have access to the flag, because ice is both melt and hot. It melts itself and evaporates, so we can turn the lava into a flag, and bada bing, bada boom, we get our victory. So, yeah, you might not hopefully be deceived, but you might be thinking, hey, this game looks pretty easy, but I assure you it's going to get much, much harder. I like to think myself as pretty decent as puzzle games, but even then, this game super stumped me, the main levels a lot of time. Considering how simple this level is and how early it appears, it's sure to go through a lot of changes and is an important lesson though. So we have star, we have and, reward is stop, and Babba is you, which basically means this is unchanging, but we can turn other things into us. And we can also turn other things we can make other things stop, which is not particularly useful, but the most useful thing I think we can do right now is turn the star into us. Oh, I went a little bit too far. And then with star as us, we can sacrifice Babba, and the star can pick up the flag for us. So a very simple level, but of course this was meant to be a tutorialization, which is good because we need a tutorial right now. It's been ages since we played Babbo's U. We need to sort of ease ourselves back into things. So Kiki on grass is weak, which I believe means if it collides with anything, it immediately gets destroyed. Right, so Kiki is also us. There's no sign of this one, but the obvious answer is probably to mean, hey, let's stop making Kiki weak on grass. So on means if something is literally overlapping with it. If the sprites are overlapping, then it will have this property. I didn't notice, but grass is grass at the left here, and you can see the contradictions. I can't remember the order of priorities, but I believe things being themselves take priority over other things. Or maybe the thing made first takes priority over other things. I can't quite recall. So obviously we can't make grass's flag. So we have to do something like Kiki on grass's flag, which turns us into a flag, but we're not flag, so that doesn't make sense. We can just do perhaps, what can we do? Flag is you, and perhaps Kiki is flag at the same time? Yeah, that seems right. Kiki is flag is you. Sorry, just hold on. There's some block pushing elements here, which we need to figure out. Because how do we get an is here? Can we even get an is here? We might not be able to. Because we can't really go above this. That's a good point, that's a good point. So perhaps there's something else entirely we need to do. So perhaps we get rid of it on? Yes, because then now we can push out the is, which we no longer could do before. So it's important, you see, all of these small little things, which is what makes Babbo's U such a brilliant game, is very small probably shouldn't do that first. Very small details like that can make a difference. You know, we pushed weak out of the way, and that meant we couldn't solve a level anymore, but now we've moved on out of the way, now we can. So hopefully you sort of get the idea of what Babbo's U is, and we can sort of get into the groove of solving things. So Babba are you. Empty is Babba. Kiki is something. Win. Baba is hot. Kiki is melt. Yes, this is like a chain thing. In the original version, empty as win was intended as a solution, I think. It took some time to realise the full implication of a word. Empty as win probably just means that winning is no longer possible. Or something. So another level that was in the Jam version. The concept is really funny to me, but I never quite figured out a good puzzle to do with it. What are you? So we can decide what is win. Probably what we want to do is get rid of empty as Baba, because we don't want that many. We kind of want Baba as win, right? So Kiki is melt. I don't know if that really makes a difference to us, because we can just make Baba as win. This doesn't seem like the intended solution, but well, basically, there's so many different ways to solve each of these Baba as you puzzles that there's going to be like numerous solutions. So this is one, especially I wouldn't get caught up too much on the intended way to win, which is what I normally do on a lot of levels, but Baba as you is so open-ended that it's quite difficult. So let's see, we got me is me, this purple thing is me is push, me is left, move it up, which means that we can make me face different directions. So this seems like we're programming me. What's this level called? I've got key is the open. Key is push, there it is. Fungus is defeat. Leaf is you. Wall and door is stop. Door is shut. Flag is win. Okay. So key is open. I assume what we had to do is we had to make key is open and me is open, and they both need to basically unlock this door for us so we can walk out and get there. Because we can't get through the fungus. The fungus is in the way, unfortunately, and that's unchanging. All of these walls over here are unchanging, so I assume what we have to do is yeah, I assume what we have to do is we have to program our me essentially to go fetch a key for us. That sounds quite difficult. Is up and left, because we can only move up and left. This just seems like a really tedious level. So we don't need me as push anymore, so let's just push us to the side for now. What we need to do is basically have me is move left and up, all very close to each other, so they're basically within a block's push away from each other. We want... Where do we want me to go? We want me to push the key upwards. Is key push? Key is push. And we want it to march left to open that door. Then we need it to come back and make itself open, and then okay. So this is just really a really tedious level. I don't know what the wait button is. B. So wait just means you can sort of just not move, which is important in situations where you don't want to move. You just want things to move on its own, but you got to just wait for things to go. So of course now we've moved me up. Me is now pointing upwards. We can now move me to here. And then we'll move me to the left. Ooh, it's always very important. Don't push things ever against the wall if you can help it, because that means if it's pushed against the wall like that, you can no longer access it, which is obviously suboptimal. So we're just going to wait for me to be here. We're going to move me is up again like this. I wonder if this is actually the way to do it, because this feels a little bit tedious, but what do I know? And then we put me's left here. And me will move it like this, which is great. Now we just need me to... It needs to bring back open for us, right? Oh. I pressed the wrong button. I pressed left trigger when I meant to press X. Okay, well, that's fine. We'll just do it again. To be perfectly honest, it's not really that big a deal. Just a little bit annoying, if anything. And to be fair, when I played this the first time, I played with a mouse and keyboard, so the controls probably are a little bit mixed up in my brain, but that was very sad. So we'll just do it like this, and we'll just, you know, wait past time. Hopefully that won't happen particularly often, but I can certainly see it happening if I'm not careful, which I'll, you know, do my best to be, but no promises, I suppose. Even now I'm pushing the wrong buttons, which is not promising. upwards. So we move left out of the way, like this, and then put left here, move you again, and then we wait. Do not press left trigger. Never press left trigger ever again. If I ever press left trigger, you have the option to be very angry at me. So what do we want to turn me in? No, we want to turn me, we want open in here because we want to turn me into open. I think that's probably, whatever. I think that's probably the best, well, maybe not solution, but you know what I mean. It's the best move for us. Pardon the pun. Because we have this, and then when me is open, it means because we have access to me is push as well, it will allow us to more finely control, I suppose, me. So yes, me is left, that's fine. Me is here, me needs to go to the right. Like this. I in fact should have stayed underneath everything, but I didn't. So you can see why this is, in my opinion, it seems like a little bit of a tedious level, which is perhaps why I didn't make it into the final cuts for Baba Is You. So we do this. Ooh, no we don't. I nearly pressed left trigger there. That would have been so bad. Yes, we push like this. And then we put me as push. No, we don't want me as open now I think about it. Yeah, wait, hold on. Do we also need the is? Me is. We also need the is, don't we? Because we need to make me is open and me is push. Okay, I mean, that's fine. That's not going to be the hardest thing in the world. It's just going to be a little bit tedious, once again, to really get done. If anything, we should have pushed this entire thing up, I suppose, all at once. But alas, we did not. And because we did not, we are suffering the consequences. I'm almost certain there must be an easier way to do this entire thing in the first place, but sometimes if you don't spot that the easier way to do things, all that's left for you is to do it the tedious way, which, you know, we're doing right now. Which is fine. Yes, we'll do it like this, and then me move again. I wonder what the swiftest way to do this would be. So then we have me's like this, and then finally we put me is push. And now me is a key, which we can use to open this, and we can bypass the fungi entirely. So that took a little bit of time. It was, you know, it felt like it's one of those puzzles where it's like, I feel like I know exactly what to do. It's just going to take a long time to execute it, but I'm sure there's a nice way to do it. So with keys, oh, we have now text as float. Text as float means it doesn't when it overlaps with something, the keywords no longer interact with each other. So in this case, if we put like a piece of text over water, because water is sink, you'd expect it to fall in like this, but because text is float, it now floats above water and does not do that. So love on Kiki is hedge, which basically means these are one-way systems. We walk through here, we cannot go back, okay? Water is sink, hedge is stop, Kiki's you, text is float, pillar is pillar, and we have is in there, and rock is rock. And we want to make flag is win. Okay. Pillar is word. Okay, so that's another keyword where we can, it means we can use these pillars themselves as actual words. I don't know why that's useful yet. This seems like a lot to do. So water is sink, so the ultimate goal is for us to push these two rocks in. But it seems too straightforward. Ah, that's why. The ultimate goal is we need to push one rock downwards into water and one rock upwards into the water at the very right. So we have a path to flag is win, and we have a path to the actual flag itself. The problem is we have one rock here, which means that we can't actually do that. So what we need to do is we need to set everything up in advance. Because we can only pass through here once. Once we're in here, we can't get out. So we need to have both rock is push and pillar is push, probably. That seems a little bit difficult. I guess we could also have rock is word. Okay, no, either way, it has to be one of a thing. Oh, we could turn a rock into a pillar into a rock. That's a good point. I don't know if that's useful. Oh no, pillar is pillar, so we can't. We could turn a rock into a pillar. Isn't that the same thing? I can't. Oh, rock is rock as well. Okay. I just noticed those as well. Okay, so one of them always has to be. It seems to be symmetric, right? Yeah, it seems to be symmetric, so it's not really that big a deal. So basically, one of them we had to set up to be something is push. Ah, we could take the words is push with us, couldn't we? But there's only so many words we can take with us. So maybe we take rock and push with us into here, and then we'll have rock is push in there. So we can make rock is push, it'll open up the thing for us, and then we can make... No, we should make pillar is push. No, wait, we make rock is push, and pillar is word, and then we'll make pillar is push. We basically need to find a way for rock, both rock and pillar to be push. So I think whatever we do, we need to take push in with us. Is it possible that we need both of them? Okay, hold on. Let's just experiment, you know. We can take push with us. We can also take rock with us, which I'm not sure if is particularly useful, but we cannot take all the words. We can take at most 3 words with us. And leaving one of them to be word seems rather useful, so we'll certainly leave is word down here, I think. And we'll take rock is push with us. Interestingly, we still have 2 hearts to work with. Ah, we can take everything with us, can't we? Yeah, we now can take everything with us. Which, I'm not sure if this really is the right idea, but... Oh no, we can't take everything. Okay, we can't take everything with us like that. We have to walk over this one first. But we... Is this fine? This should be fine. But we can take all the words with us, which I'm not sure if it's particularly useful, but it's certainly something. Which is probably why there's 4 hearts there, so we can take one of each word. But now we can do this. Rock is push, so we empty it out like this. And now we have pillar is word, rock is push. Probably. We need to set it up so it says rock is push and a pillar is push. That's fine. Actually, we can just push this is right over here. And now rock is push, pillar is push. We didn't even use the word concept, which is strange. But again, had to think about as you. Because there's so many moving parts, it's so open-ended, there can be so many different solutions. I'm sure what we're probably meant to use, or probably meant to use the actual pillar that we have left, using pillar as word, and then we're meant to make pillar as something useful in that capacity, but who knows? Okay, now I introduced the belt is shift. Shift just basically means if you're standing on it, it will push you in that direction. So Baba is push, key is whatever, belt is shift, door and lava is shut. Okay, key and Kiki is open. Okay, flag is win, Kiki's you. So Kiki has to be us and we're always open. That's weird. I wonder why that is. Oh, because lava is shut. Something is move. So this is what belt is shift does. I walk once on here and it pushes me along twice. So it's like a double movement. So this is our key. Key currently isn't push in the first place. Ah, okay. I see what we need to do. Conceptually, I see what we need to do. We need to make it such that we have the key here, us here, and while we're here, Baba makes door and lava is shut. Yes. Okay. So I'm just trying to think what the best way to do it is. I'm not sure why we even need belt is shift in the first place. I guess we can make belt is push and keep pushing, prevent Baba from moving backwards, but I don't think we need to. I think we have enough time. So if we do this, basically the last move we need to do is Baba is push. So, no, sorry, Baba is move, right? Yeah. So let's keep some room there. We need this is push for now because we need the key to be push. We can just, oh, what am I doing? We can move this up, make key is push, and because the lava is not anything particularly special, right? Oh, let's not push it against the wall. Again, don't push things against the wall because you cannot remove them from the wall. What we need to make is Baba is move. And we just need to basically sprint over to where the key is. So we go, before Babas makes it, and then we just wait, door and lava shut. We need to make keys push, I forgot. We need to do this, we need to make keys push before we do this. But in concept, that works. So okay, put keys push here. Wait, let's not put it there. I mean, we have more time. We have so much more time than I expected, so it's probably fine. Yeah, then we wait. Now keys push, and now we can get out. Perfect. That again screams to me like there should have been like an alternative way to solve that, but that do just be how it is. The flowers aren't anything particularly special. They're just like level completion things. They're just like there to sort of get your progress on moving onwards. Too much. We've got telephone, and to be fair, these are old levels which probably hadn't been playtested as much, so they probably didn't. If they had alternative solutions, they probably didn't mind as much for them being there. Hello, more signs. This was intended to be the level to introduce telly. It manages to be quite chaotic despite the simple puzzle. I wonder why I felt the need to try to prevent grasses you as a solution. Okay, skull is move and defeat. Text is float. Ice is telly. Flag is win. And something is sink. Okay. It seems to me... Oh, we can't push anything. It seems to me like we should make grasses telly. And then the skull would just sort of teleport around like crazy. That's a very chaotic level, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, obviously these levels might not necessarily be playtested as much, so there might be more flaws. They got scrapped for certain reasons, maybe because the creator didn't like them or something in the end. So, you know, we don't need to be so like... We don't need to go in with so much scrutiny, I suppose. Shift turned out to be surprisingly powerful in its own ways. I kept forgetting that I can't just place a barrier on its way without it getting shifted away too. This required a lot of revising. So belt is push. I don't even see what a belt is. We don't even have belt. Baba make. That's a new thing, which I can't remember. It's something like when Baba gets destroyed, it leaves behind something, I think. So flag is... What on earth is going on? Ice is not win. Hand is shift. Skulls are defeat. So hand is shift means that, okay, we can't walk onto here. Makes sense. Baba, it's probably my Baba makes belt. That seems like the only thing we can do. Oh no, that's not true. We can stop this being shift. That would sacrifice something to the skulls, which is that okay? What? Is hand defeat somewhere? Oh, hand is defeat. I didn't even notice hand is defeat. Okay, wall is stop. Skull is defeat. Baba is you. Hold on. I think I can't quite recall what belt make actually does. Ah, this is what belt does. Okay. Is that useful? We can make hand is push. Where are we even going? Ice is not win. We just need to... We need to make flag is win. Oh, okay, I see. So we need to push it once up from beneath and then once from the left. Ah, so we need to make a certain amount of belts and then make them push? That doesn't make sense. How can that happen? So if we make hand is push, is it useful? I don't know. This hand isn't even particularly useful. I'm trying to figure out, conceptually we had to go here in the top left. From underneath we need to push something upwards to make flag is defeat and No, we need to push it once from the top right side to make Ice's defeat and then make Flaggers win, right? Okay, so we need to make Ice's defeat, Flaggers win, because Ice is not win, and that's the only thing we can make win. But we have to be over standing by the flag when it happens. Okay, I think, well, I actually feel like I vaguely remember a puzzle like this in the main series, where basically you sort of like draw out like a conveyor belt path for the thing to go on. Luckily when you walk over these things again, nothing happens. Yeah, and then we can make like another longer conveyor belt path, like maybe not like that, maybe like this. And then we just need to push how many things in the top? We need to push 2 things on the top. 1, 2, 1. Okay, so we need 2 things. We need to make belt a shift, and we need to have 2 things up on there. Okay. Okay, okay. So we can make hand as push, which allows us in here. And then from here we have, I don't know. It's a little bit much. It's a little bit much trying to think of what's going on. If we make belt is shift. Oh, we have a move down there. I didn't even notice a move. We can make. So if we need to make hand is move. Do we? Maybe we don't. Certainly we can do this. Oh, if we had the belts going up in opposite directions here, maybe that would have been useful. So then we can push one on one side and one on the other. And then we make belt a shift. The question is how do we make that? I don't know. And it would push him into position. And we just sort of walk. I guess. I think that would be okay. Oh no, we need to make hand is shift and hand is move. We can only make one thing as move. No, we shift them. We shift them until they're in position, and at which point we can wait here, and you know, now that opens that up for us. I don't know if that's particularly useful, but this does not seem useful. Oh my god, but it's been half an hour. I think we need to reset, and I think we will continue this one on next time, because this seems like quite a tough level. Sorry, the parts are going to be kind of weirdly distributed in this one because of like the half an hour sort of like episode limits I try and do. But yeah, hopefully you'll enjoy my experience with Bad Boys U and me trying to solve all these puzzles. But for now, if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Bad Boys U. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares are greatly appreciated. Join Dear Darling's Discord, follow me on Twitter down below. Hope we see each other again. But for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye bye for now.